It's brand new music from Oklahoma's own Hidden Charms as the Weekend Blues continues on KGOU.
Baby, baby, gonna bring it on home to you. I bought my ticket, I got my load. Conductor hollered, all aboard. Take my seat right way back and watch this train going down the track. Gonna bring it on home to you. About times I once have had, soul got happy, my heart got glad. I think about the way you love me too. You can bet your life I'm coming home to you. Gonna bring it on home to you. Now watch out, watch out, watch out.
Bringing it on home to us in gritty fashion there, Oklahoma's own Hidden Charms, a newly formed outfit out of Oklahoma City featuring Christian Lamar on guitar and vocals, Curtis Brown on bass, and a man who's been in a who's who of Oklahoma bands, including the Blues Music Award-winning Watermelon Slim and The Workers, Mr. Michael Newberry on drums. It was Michael Newberry who reached out to me a few weeks back to let me know that he'd formed a new group and was headed to Trent Bell's studios to record some demo material. He was wondering if I'd be interested in hearing the results. Well, that's a no-brainer, since, again, Newberry has been a part of so many great groups over the years that, well, I guess you could consider him the Kevin Bacon of band members here in central Oklahoma, if you're familiar with that 6 Degrees of Separation game in Kevin Bacon's name. And once I received the 5 songs recorded on that early November session, well, I had to invite the guys into the studio to tell us about themselves and this trio that they've just recently formed. Here's what the fellows offered when we sat down to talk on Monday of this past week?
Probably the best band I've ever been in. It just blows me away. First of all, Curtis Brown's the bass player. He and I have been playing together for about 2 years now, and that came about a couple of different reasons, but mainly we're in a house band in Bricktown. It's Mojo's Blues Club is where we perform at. But I always had a night that was my own there. You know, my band was supposed to play on Thursday nights, but sometimes I didn't have a band. So everybody that worked there knew that I was always looking for somebody to help me with those Thursday nights. And the manager of the bar came up to me one day. His name is Chummy. Came up to me one day and said, "Here's the name of a guy. I think you really want to check this guy out. He's on guitar." I said, "Okay." And Chummy and I don't really have the same musical taste, so I thought, yeah, great, another one. So anyway, I called Christian, who I didn't know was as young as he is. Christian just turned 21 in March. First thing I said, which I like to ask people these days if I'm going to play with them, is, "What's your favorite kind of music? What do you like to listen to?" And what's he say? Yngwie, and Judas Priest. I'm like, I knew it. Chummy screwed me again. And but we just, we decided to go ahead and meet and talk in person. So we met, and during the last set, we got Christian up there on guitar to play with the house band. And oh my goodness, that was so much fun. As soon as we were done, I was like, "Come on, let's go talk." 'Cause I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know he still didn't have a band. I couldn't believe he didn't. Man, I mean, someone as good as this guy should have been in a band already, but I guess he was just waiting for us.
Yeah, it was pretty immediate that we felt like that we had really something good together. It was almost within, the first 2 or 3 shows, we really had started to really figure how this entire unit works around, Curtis included. We were all really figuring it out pretty quickly, and it's pretty insane to me that we've only been a band since about June, so like 5 months, and we're already as tight as we are. We're, going up there and we're playing the way we want to play, and it just all comes together real nicely.
So Curtis, tell me about your vantage point for how all of this went down.
Well, I was asked to substitute for a bass player in a band that Michael used to be in, and then he asked me to start playing with him in the house band at Mojo's, and then Christian came along and just set everything on fire.
Well, that's so wild. So, Christian, you've just turned 21 this year.
Uh-huh.
And before that, you hadn't been inside Mojo's because you couldn't, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you just decide on your birthday that's a place you want to go. You knew they had some music, and you knew they had stellar musicians like this, or
well,
it was handy, or
I went to in 2020. I went to the music college. I went there for 1 semester. We won't get into the details on that, but I'd come out of the classes and I'd be hearing music playing. So I'm like, huh. And I'd look over there, and it's Mojo's Blues Bar, and it's just right down the alley. There's like a sidewalk, and it's right there. But, I was 18, so I wasn't able to go in there. And then, my girlfriend and we had talked about it a couple times. For my birthday, I'd wanted to go to Mojo's and check it out and see what this place is all about. Blues has been around in my life for a long time, and that was just kind of, one of the things that I wanted to do. As it so happened, that was the day that it was a jam.
it seems like a hit the lottery kind of scenario from my perspective, and I'm
exactly
sure from a lot of folks.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the luckiest bass player in town to be playing with Christian and Michael.
Same
They're
here,
great.
Curtis.
It really does feel like it's something special playing with these guys.
We're talking to the band Hidden Charms, featuring Christian Lamar on vocals and guitar, Curtis Brown on bass, Mike Newberry on drums, and the occasional vocal as well. Let's go ahead and hear some of their material recorded at Bell Labs. How about this one? We debuted it last weekend. It's the tune Little Red Rooster.
barnyard, upset in every way. The dogs begin to bark, the hounds begin to howl. The dogs begin to bark, the hounds begin to howl. Watch out, all you people. The little red rooster's on the prowl. Where you at, baby? If you find my little red rooster, please drive it home. If you find my little red rooster, please drive it home. Ain't no peace in the barnyard since my little red rooster done been gone. Oh, there you are.
So once again, we're talking with the band Hidden Charms, Oklahoma's own, a group that just recently formed here in 2023 and features some well-known stalwarts and a young blood here who's coming into the scene with what would seem to be a totally different background in many respects. But then again, it's one I can certainly relate to, as we were talking about before this interview. You know, it just seems like if you're playing guitar, pretty much all roads, no matter what, are going to somehow steer and veer you to blues inspiration and some of the greats.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just, you if you don't have the blues, you do not have anything that we can consider modern music. And, just the only difference between, me and the guys that I idolize is I kind of came from it from the reverse way. I came from it listening to heavy metal. I got into Metallica and Megadeth really early on. My dad was a big fan of heavy metal, getting into Judas Priest. And, when I was in high school, I started getting into the really, really heavy stuff, bands like Dark Throne and Morbid Angel, the black and death metal stuff. And then once I got out of high school, that's whenever I really started to turn hard into the blues. And so I just kind of, I went from the most like extreme logical progression of the blues and just to pure blues, and I don't listen to very many new blues artists. I listen to the stuff, the Chess Records guys, I listen to the stuff from the 30s. I like Julius Daniels and Blind Lemon Jefferson and all those guys. And then I kind of go up into the 70s and 80s with certain Albert Collins records, and obviously Stevie Ray Vaughan. He's my number one influence. That's my story, I guess.
Well, very cool. I want to play another tune here that really kind of, I think, will give the listeners insights to this background you just referred to. It's probably the heavier, most obvious metal influence as far as your tone goes on these recordings, and I'm talking about Hidden Charms.
Yeah, that was just something that I just was sitting around one day, and I just got this guitar. It's a 1986 contemporary Strat made in Japan. It's real nice. It's got a black headstock and everything. I love that thing. But I flicked it to the middle position, and I'm playing through my GK, just kind of messing around, and that riff just kind of came out. And then it didn't really take very long for it to reach, completion. I recorded the riff, I sent it to Michael, and then we showed up to a show one day, and then we just played it. It just kind of became that one.
All right, let's give it a listen. It's Hidden Charms from the band Hidden Charms here on the Weekend Blues. the tune Hidden Charms from the band of the same name, who's here in the KGOU studios, talking to us a little bit about how they formed and where they're headed. As earlier mentioned, Michael Newberry, the band's drummer, here reached out to me to let me know about this band and his excitement about the band. And one thing you've also mentioned is when you went to the studio, what a quick process that was, and relatively easy in the sense of getting what you guys wanted. And that's saying something, too, since you've spent plenty of time in the studio.
Absolutely. I've spent a lot of time in Trent Bell Studio, as a matter of fact. And that's the other part of the magic, is working with Mr. Bell is always so much easier than other things I've experienced in the past. But we'd paid for 6 hours, and we were going to get out of there with at least one mix of one song, hopefully. But it turned out to be all 5 songs that we laid down that day. We did have one other original that we did not record, but that's going to happen in the near future. But this young man right here, well, I mean, Curtis and me, I mean, yeah, we can get through the songs all right, but what he did in the studio, it's like he'd been in there as many times as I have. He had great ideas about different things to do with his guitar. And another thing is his vocals they have come along so much in the 6 months. Not that he was a bad singer or anything, he just wasn't used to it. Man, he's commanding now. He's commanding in every way on the stage and in the studio. He commands the best, and so that's what we got to give him, or he'll be down the road playing with somebody else.
All right, so you guys step into Trent Bell Studios. You record 5 tunes, or 5 tunes resulted from those 6 hours spent. And your goal, from my understanding, was really just to get some demo material out. I don't think
exactly
you were even counting on necessarily having something that could serve as a band's debut EP. It looks like that's what you've got.
Well, once we go in and mix, I mean, these are just rough mixes, so we are working out a schedule to going back in and spend a few hours mixing, get a good mix, the EQ and everything, but not much. I mean, what we got out of there with blows my mind, really. And once again, that's a large part due to Trent Bell and Curtis and Christian and me. I mean, we all had our part in it.
Tell me about any big plans for you guys on the stage, and where can people regularly find you?
Oh, well, we play pretty much every weekend, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sundays at Mojo's Blues Bar in Bricktown. On Sundays, it's just us, the 3-piece. But yeah, we play Friday, Saturday from 10 p.m. to 2 in the morning, and then on Sundays we do 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
As people are listening to this, we are actually right now, people, as you're listening to me talking, I'm also on stage at the Trolley Stomp Record Shop right now with this band. We're playing right now. Believe it or not, we're in 2 places at once. And we play the Trolley Stop one weekend a month, one Saturday a month, and we do 2 big shows there, one every November and one every April. And the November shows this weekend, but like I said, you're listening, we're playing right now. If you can, come out and catch us live. We're playing today from 2 to 5, so you might be able to run down the street and catch us live, all ages. We are looking for other gigs in Oklahoma City area. So if you're listening, Mr. or Mrs. Bar owner, and need a really good band that plays good rock and roll, nice and loud like it's supposed to be, please give us a call.
Very cool. We're talking once again with the band Hidden Charms here at the KGOU studios, a band that just formed recently in this year of 2023 and has just come out with some recorded material that thankfully we get to enjoy, all of us here on these airwaves. What say we hear another tune? What should I play from you guys? What would you like for me to play next?
Down in the Bottom.
All right, well, let's do it. Down in the Bottom from the band Hidden Charms here on the Weekend Blues. Thanks, you guys, for taking the time.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim, and thanks for all you do.
Well, now meet me in the bottom. Bring my running shoes. Well, now meet me in the bottom. out the window now.